while that is drying, what I'm going to do now is something I forgot to do earlier. I don't mean this earlier on. I didn't finish off the hinges. I forgot to do that, so I'm going to do that now with a bit of Dawnbreaker, if you can see that. And as I say, it's just a little bit of it. Don't want to go to town. It's just blap, 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 and blap. And the next thing I want to do is just very lightly, and I mean very lightly, go over the tail, or the green parts on the tail, with Agrax Earthshade. So I don't want this looking as though it's in shadow. I just want it looking as though it's a little worn, shall we say. There can have an extra bit. As I say, I just want this part it's looking as though it's gone a bit dirty with flying. Now, I also want to do a little bit of highlighting on the blacks of the flat edges, shall we say. So let's get some black that was risking it. Loading the brush and carrying it over the model to get it to the palette. That is something you don't want to do, because that was just so simple then for a drop of paint to come off the brush and fall onto the model and spoil all the work that's been done. So always have your paint beside your palette, and not on the other side of your model. And it's, as usual, Screaming Skull mixed with the black to make a grey colour. And with this we're just going to be doing the centre parts of the flat areas. We're going to be doing the raised, or the all of the angled upwards areas, and part of the vertical faces. And I will be going over making some of this a bit lighter. Try and keep the when you're doing this, try and keep that edge dark. Just go to the middle areas, don't be taking it right up to the edge. You can do it with other colours, but when you're doing the black, I wouldn't, because you've got enough what's the word I'm looking for? You've got enough something or other. You've got enough dirt there, you want to try and make some light, that's what I meant. So always try and keep edges darker, because you can't go any more darker than black when you're painting these. So try and keep towards the middle of the panels if you can. I mean, there's areas where, like that very narrow part there, where you can't really get away with doing that, so just go to the edges and go a little bit lower with this side. It's just to keep, as I said, a line there to show the definition. We'll be mixing some more Screaming Skull into this to make it that little bit lighter. Alright. Will occasionally slip like I did there, but again, it's nothing, no big deal, nothing to stress out about. Oops. As you can see, I hope I'm trying to keep away from that top edge. But I don't want to have a solid line of paint, which is why I'm not going that way. I'm doing this. I'm trying to keep that a feathered edge. And here I'll just do again a feathered edge going down towards the down towards that angle. And finally just a line straight across there, like so. Here we want that part the brightest, and this part and here it's again just in the middle of the panel. and we will be making it a little brighter, but we want it black, we don't want it grey, remember that. I'm not going to do that because that's going to be covered in flame. I am however going to be doing that and that area. I'm just going to go over the and there and there, and I think really that is it. Oops, not quite, I've missed out. A few bits from there. There's also the, I'm not going to do the smaller areas of this, I'm just going to do the larger areas. And I think, as I say now, that is it. And I found somewhere else. There and there. Okay. So now that's some more of the Screaming Skull to add to the mix to make it just that touch lighter, and as I say, it's just a touch lighter. We don't want this to look grey, we want it to look black with a few little highlights in it. There we are. And we have add a touch of water, see if that will help it to flow a little better. There we are. It's flowing a little better, but not a great deal. Yeah, I'm going to have to mix some more paint. Okay, so I've done black. And Screaming Skull, and a little more Screaming Skull. I'll try and get it to a similar shade. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. There we go. And it's just so we can see where light's hitting it. That is all. No other reason. And we're trying to get it so that it's some parts are slightly paler than others to give it that look of the light is hitting it a little more in that position. And I think that is it. Just a touch there in the middle, a touch there in the middle, and a touch there in the middle. I'm going to just go over the edges there. Just because a few corners. I didn't do this edge. Okay, and that's that. Next, I think what I'll do is I'll just move this over to one side again while I get out the Agrax Earthshade, and I'll go over the dragon scale areas again. Don't worry, it's looking pretty damn good. Okay, one thing I haven't done, which I really should have, involves the use of either a scrubby brush or palette knife, and that is around here. Now it's dried, let's just tap off any loose parts. And while it's dried, what I want to use is a product from Vallejo, Dark Earth. It's a gritty paste of acrylic resin, pigment and microparticles. So as I say, you can put it on with a brush or a palette knife. And put that in there, and I'm going to use a scabby old brush to do this. And what we do is we get it on the brush, there's my base for the Angry Bee. And you can bear with me, I'll just increase the height of the camera. And place the Angry Bee. Oops. Where it belongs. So you can see how it looks. Oh yeah. I'm quite impressed with that. And it's going to look much better once it's finished. So place that to one side again. I'll need to let all that dry, so I'll do that, let that dry overnight. Onto that, come around, and this is still tacky, so I can't do much on this anymore. So I'll have to wait until that's dry before I can carry on. So I will leave it there. I will paint the flames on the back of the Angry Bee. I have transfers to place on it, and when I come back we'll finish these off, glue them to the Angry Bee, and then I'll show you what I'm doing for painting the base. So until then, take care, God bless, and bye for now.